Good morning. We are talking about inventory. If you are in the business of producing physical products, yeah, you'll have inventory on hand and you have to track your inventory. So we are talking about how you get yourself ready for the tax season. And in this video, I just want to share with you how I track myself and how you could track yourself if you don't have any you have not implemented any system that really works for you. I can share with you how I track myself. I sell soap, towels, oil, and they are physical products. I make the soap myself, and I use the oil to make the soap, and I like to sell some of the oil as well. And I make towels that you can just use single uses in the bathroom or in the kitchen to wipe a hand instead of purchasing toilet paper. So I sell those as well. Some of them are from flour sack and some of them are from bamboo or hemp. Let me charge my computer here. So, and when I sell them on Etsy, the best system that works for me, because I'm not selling a lot at the moment, what works for me is when I'm packaging my order, I record some information that works, that I found helpful at the end of the year when I'm doing my taxes. And I'm going to show you how I record those and how I record the information. So let's get to it. If you are a sole proprietor, you will need to put on your Schedule C the cost of goods sold. And you will need that same information if you have an LLC on your form or Schedule 1125A. Is it 11? I think it's 1125A. Yeah. So let me get my number here. And I would like to change method each time I find something, I find a limitation and I find a better way of doing something. But let me just bring you closer and show you what has been working for my situation. And if you just started and you are not having a lot of sales, you don't have to invest in an accounting software if you cannot afford one. If you can afford one and you know which one will work for you, that's great. But if you cannot afford one or you find it expensive, yeah, well, you can just track your things in Excel until you can afford to purchase a software. That way you know what to expect from the software. When you are doing it yourself by hand, you will know what works for you. So pretty much what I like to do here is, maybe I should show you, but there is one important information is here. So each time I make sales, I'll come here and I'll record the dates and the shipping cost, because I will need the shipping cost later. So I like to record a little bit of information that I might find helpful later, and I'll have a sheet and I'll record that and I'll have it in the same area with the receipts, and at the end of the year I'll just tape it together. But then what I will do is I will try to total the receipts if they are not a lot, or I'll try to total my shipping costs here. And I like the paper version, that way I don't need to go to my computer, fire up my computer to record those information. I can do it later, but I like to have a paper on hand and just record those information. As I'm filing my receipt, I'll just do that. I can just show you another one here, which is from 2018. I have the receipt and I recorded the shipping information here. So I found it very helpful doing that, and that way at the end of the year I won't have to be told in all those receipts. And by putting the year on it at the end, I'll do staple it. And that's just one thing here for my record to keep. And the other one here as well. And I have another one here that is 2017. And I have the receipts. I have the receipt for them, and I have the sales that are recorded here as well. So, and so forth. And I just take them all together, and I have them by year in my file up here. So that's one way I track my shipping costs by hand. Now I have purchases here as well, and I do things similarly as well. I purchase something and I'll just write down. Those are raw materials. I'll just write them down with the year, with the receipt next to it, and I'll do the same thing for purchases as well. You know, for that prior year. And I will have it here. That's 2014. And this one I pretty much have it 14 and 15 together. And they are stapled. At the end of the year, I staple them, and I can file them all together. I just add it to it. And now we have receipt here. So we will have receipt, and what I like to do with my receipt is, because I staple them together, I'll write the year on it at the end. But pretty much when I print it out and I'm packaging the product, I'll write down the packaging materials that went in it. So I use, and then I'll write down the type of mailing system that I use as well, and the cost of the shipping. So it's just a way of double checking my numbers. It will be here, and then it will be on another paper where I staple the receipt together, but I'll write it down what I use. And if I use some materials for packaging, I'll write it down, because I will need to track my packaging as well. They'll go into the cost of the goods sold. So 2 jars, pen jars with 1 plastic lid. So they were purchased, so they'll go into the cost of the goods sold, and that's a priority mail, and that's the information of what the customer paid. So I'll have that, and pretty much I'll have the same thing here as well, where I'll pretty much note what I wanted to note. So that would be the cost, and it's 1 shea butter and 1 cocoa oil soap. So 1 shea butter and cocoa oil soap, I'll write it down so that I know what I sold. It will help when I'm trying to see what I sold and what I didn't sell. Those information will be helpful. So I like to write it down as I'm packaging the product, so that I can use those information later when I need it. And a lot of time I don't get to it right away, but at the end of the year, because I wrote it down the same day that I packaged the product, at the end of the year I can find my way through it easily, because I have the information there already. Don't need to try to remember. So shea butter soap 70%, that's just mean that's the quantity of shea butter in the total amount of oil that I use for the soap. That's 70% of shea butter in that, compared to coconut oil. So coconut oil is 30%, shea butter is 70% in that soap. So I sold those soap, and That's the cost of the shipping, and that's that. And I'll do the same thing for 2018. I'll just write things down with the cost and materials, and you can see. So it helps to record myself like that, and at the end I will have that. And then at the same time, once, because I'll do this, and then when the package is mailed, I'll come back to write the price down, the cost of the shipping down, and then I'll take the receipt and I'll just use the clipper with the paper where I wrote the shipping cost as well. And then I'll file my paper. I believe I took it from here. So yes, then I'll just put them here until at the end of the year I can staple it together. So you can see, yes, when I'm filing those clients information, I will write the cost of the shipping as well, and I'll use a clip to hold it together with the paper. And at the end of the year, I'll take the clip out and I'll just staple it. That's how I track my sales. Now let's go check how I record that in the computer. And I have those binder, notebooks, filing things with in the soap station, making me keeping those things together. So it's easy to access them since they're all together there. So let me show you how I record those things on my computer here. So when we go up, I will have the spreadsheet set. I know how I start the year. I have my product listed. How I start the year, purchases that I made during the year, and I show you how I track my purchases as well. So I'll have that, and the soap that I made during the year, they'll go under purchases as well. And then the next section is where I collect, when I count my inventory at the end of the year, what they are. The following section will be sold. And I will just grab my papers and I will put down, I'll look for on the client receipt. You see how I wrote enough information to know what I sold. So I'll write them down here as well to just track them all here. And in 2019 I didn't sell much, so some of them are ounces, some of them are units, so depending on what it is. So I'll track them here, and I have the cost of the goods sold that will be recorded as well, because I have them on the spreadsheet elsewhere. So I'll just calculate that very quickly. So that's how I track my goods sold. And when we come down, and later I'll show you how earlier I show you how I count my inventory and how I record the sales of the what I took out of the inventory for personal uses. So I have that as well. And once I know how much I sold at the end of the year, it's easy for me to calculate, to summarize all of that. So I think my computer just died on me. Let's see if we can bring it back here. And in my spreadsheet, I have discarded or personal use. So I have it there, and I'll record them as well, because when I was counting my inventory, I recorded those information. When I take something out of the inventory for personal use, I'll take a note of it next to what I recorded in my notebook, that I have this amount of soap on hand for sale. If I take something out, I'll write down that I took it out for personal use and the day that I took it out. So it's easy for me to record those information here. And here is this supply used for packaging, because you cannot just deduct the cost of your supplies the year you purchase them if they go into your finished product. Like if they use them to package your finished products, then you have to deduct the cost of the quantity that you use. So I have my supplies for packaging in stocks, and then I record the one that I use, and I calculate the unit cost on that. So depending on how many I took out, I'll know the total cost. So that's why on my client receipt I'll put down the packaging items that I use. So I use paint jar, I'll have it here. I use plastic lid, I'll have it here, and the cost of it based on how much it cost me to purchase them divided by the number it was in the box. So I have those here, and if we go at the end of the spreadsheet, we have totals for each one of those categories. So we have the start year of the inventory, the purchases, the end year of inventory, sold during the year, and then taken out for personal use, and then we have the raw materials for packaging. So now I will have a summary section here, and the things is beginning inventory. This number here is the same number there. Purchases during the year, I didn't make a lot of purchases, and that will and that's this number here, 2236. So those two will total to the total of 2019. Those two numbers, the start of the year and the purchases. And then I have end year. So that's what I ended with. So that's the end year inventory cost right there, and personal uses. So I have that as well there, which is the total of another section here. And sold during the year. And sold during the year is pretty much the total of 2019 stocks at the start of the year, during the year, total of that, minus what I end up the year with, minus what I took out for personal uses. It will give me that. And if you see that number 813, cost of goods sold during the year, it's pretty much the same thing as this 814 here, cost of goods sold during the year. If you go up a little bit, you will see it, and that's the cost of goods sold during the year. So I like to lay it out in a way that is very easy for me to fill up my taxes with, because those information, that's the way you will be requested to enter them in the tax form. You'll need those information. So I like to have them listed, calculated, so that's just easy for me to take those numbers and put them where they belong. So that's that. And you'll notice that I have the packaging cost here, but that will go into another section, 193. That's the supply used for packaging. That'll go under another section, but I have it here as well. So that's how I track my inventory, and that is very important. And I don't know, we are talking about sales as well, how the cost of goods sells. So we have, yeah, this one is, I need to adjust that, but I will come here and I will put my informations, pretty much how much the size, what was sold, the size, the quantity, the amount, the shipping, the tax, what the personal paid, what the client paid, and how much SC charged me, and how much it cost me to ship it. So I'll record those information here as well, included the mileage as well. Here, that's the mileage, and then I'll note the total mileage for the business. But I'll record the supply cost and the cost of goods sold. Everything will be in this section, tied up with my inventory sheet, so that everything is well recorded. So that's how I record my sales, my inventory, to find the cost of goods sold. Thank you for watching. I'm Akiavi Ojune Marinet Liberman, creators of Liberman Consulting L.L.C YouTube channel and owners of Nina's Soap. Please like our YouTube channel, our videos, and subscribe for more to come. Thank you.